Good day traders, and welcome to the Forex Board Trading Academy. This video is for the Australian versus the Swiss franc currency pair on the daily time frame. Now, before we get started, I would like to remind you that all the information in this video is for educational purpose only and should not be considered as a financial advice. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do it right away to follow all the analysis we're doing every single day, along with the live trade examples and educational videos. Let's get started with the Australian Swiss franc. It seems a bit complicated. There are too many lines, too many stuff on the chart, but let's get step by step and it will be more clear. First off is the downtrend trend line, which we saw has been rejected. Now, another thing is the fibs I have applied to this overall move to the downside. We had the kind of 1, 2, 3 wave to the downside. I have applied this fibs. So it could have been an ABC correction, and this could be yet another long-term move to the upside. Although the correction could also take place. This is minor correction considering this is a daily chart. So this pullback could be quite reasonable. With these fibs that I have applied, we have rejection of the 88.6 retracement level twice. So there was once, because we have here Fibonacci cycles, I will just move them and you will be able to see that there was this clean rejection of 88.6, which is at 0.6700, very strong psychological level in fact. So there was a double rejection once, and then we had another rejection just last week. So this double rejection could be providing the opportunity to the downside for sellers, because the price is right at the trend line yet again. So this is a strong supply zone, and as long as price remains below psychological level 0.67, the selling pressure would remain quite strong, and there could be this fast move to the downside, the corrective move, because if this is ABC, then yeah, will be a long-term uptrend for the Australian versus Swiss franc. Now, in regards to the support level, well, we have these fibs already applied, and there are two levels, 88.6 as the resistance and 50% retracement as the support. So this support is at 0.6555, and it corresponds with another fibs. I have applied fibs to this last wave to the upside, where we have 78.6 fibs exactly at the same price. Moreover, we have the ascending channel, which has been broken to the downside, but now it could be acting as the support right there, because it corresponds also to our downside target. And at the same time, we have two moving averages, which is 50 simple and 50 exponential, and both of them kind of providing the support yet again for the price. So this pullback could be quite reasonable, but only of course as long as this resistance holds, because if price will move slightly higher, it will confirm most likely that this is a bullish cycle. But for now, we have Fibonacci cycles. I have applied it through first 2 points, which I have used to draw my ascending channel. And we have here cycle down, and this could be yet again a cycle down. But also it could be cycle up, but for this we need to break to the upside. For now, remains still bearish because of a rejection of the Fibonacci resistance and the downtrend trend line. So this pullback, yes, is expected. All in all, it could make it a 115 pips move, which is quite decent considering this is the Australian versus Swiss franc currency pair, and it could be also fast. Who knows, it could be fast, it could take some time, maybe like that would be more reasonable. So it will take a week or so, but all in all, this should be a downtrend downside move as long as this resistance holds. Also, I like this cycle which starts tomorrow, and we're yet to see which side there will be the move, because I think tomorrow is this new cycle, and it should push price either to the upside or the downside. And as I said, for now, the probability remains in favor of the downside move. It's time to get to other analysis we made previously, and I would like to start with the Australian dollar pairs, because now we have three of them. We have Australian versus dollar, we have Australian Japanese yen, and we have Australian Swiss franc. You can see them at the bottom. In regards to the Australian dollar, we have two analyses, one for the upside, one for the downside. But for the upside, we have a daily time frame, and as I said, I also expect the corrective move down. Here we see the new cycle has started. It seems like an uptrend, but we didn't break previously made high, which still shows that the trend could be bearish, because for the upside move we need to break above the previously made high, which is at 1.7340. It seems like a double top could be forming, and we need to see whether there will be breakout to the upside today or not. And it's important that the daily close will be above the previously made high, because this is a daily analysis. If not, still expecting this scenario, slightly changing the timing, but yeah, it should be something like that, because if we go down then up, this could correspond to the next Fibonacci cycle as well. So you can see one Fibonacci cycle started, and we had the same on the Australian Swiss franc. Okay, now on the 4-hour time frame, this resistance is holding, and here is clearly formation of the double top. So let's see whether the price will manage to break to the upside or not, but I do expect correction as long as this resistance holds. So now maybe even 4-hour closing price will be important for the Australian versus dollar. Daily and or 4-hour closing above will invalidate the bearish setup. So it should be watched, the Australian dollar, I think, at the key levels, and they will provide this important information whether the price will go up or will go down. And considering the fact that there is no clear confirmation of the upside move, it is still remains bearish. Next is the Australian Japanese yen. Well, this is an analysis we did some time back, and here also we applied Fibonacci cycles. So we had this cycle down, and this is the point where I thought it will go down, and it didn't test the support. In fact, this next cycle was a bullish one. And what could happen is more consolidation, and only then price will be going down. So this cycle could be the beginning of the downside move, and it starts tomorrow. As soon as the next day opens, 1 hour after, the trend could be starting. So this is a consolidation throughout the day, that what would expect on the Australian Japanese yen, and only then down. Also important to watch this resistance area. If it gets broken, also Australian dollar will confirm to be strong. So watching very closely all the Australian dollar pairs, because they will show today or tomorrow what is the long-term trend. Moving on to other analysis, continuing with the Canadian Japanese yen. Here we still have a bearish setup, and you can see price is declining. We might be reaching this downside target tomorrow, sometime tomorrow on the US Open session, and this is a little bit more than 24 hours from now. So also bearish and remains bearish. On the dollar Canadian, you can see the next cycle has started, and yesterday we discussed that there will be consolidation up until this point where the dollar Canadian will hit the cycle, and it's still remains valid. I think from this point onwards the price should continue rising towards the 1.3330, and it makes it around 260 pips from the current price. So still expecting the upside move, but this I think will be the dollar strength. The euro versus dollar also showing the strength for the dollar, considering there was this rejection of this resistance, double rejection once and twice, similar to what we had on the Australian Swiss franc. There could be also a quite a substantial downside move, 479 pips to be precise, which corresponds to the moving average and the uptrend trend line of the channel. All in all, still bearish as long as this resistance holds. If there will be a breakout, obviously the dollar should start showing more weakness, and it could push a lot of dollar pairs against the dollar. Pound versus dollar, same. It's based on the dollar, and I want to see what will be happening to this resistance, because on the daily time frame we can see that there was no close above the resistance. The resistance is 61.8 pips at 132.32. So here was the spike, and now if this daily closing will be below 132.41, it will remain bearish in my view. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of dollar pairs that are kind of showing the strength of the dollar, but they're very close to change that sentiment, which could change from the dollar strength to the dollar weakness. We will yet to see. I think today and tomorrow will be extremely important in that sense. And speaking of the Australian Swiss franc, well, also Australian dollar overall looks weak, which in conjunction with the strength of the dollar could provide the biggest move to the downside, but only as long as this resistance holds. Perhaps we should be watching this high right there, because it also was the rejection of this resistance. So maybe break above the 0.7344, especially daily close above, will completely invalidate this bearish forecast. But for now, still bearish, although on the daily time frame is bullish. Nonetheless, expecting correction and then continuation. All right, that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to support us, so that we can provide you a better and more content every single day. Till next time, and profits to you.